there, YouTube? I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Campy Creatures from Keymaster Games. It's for 2 to 5 players, ages 14 plus. It'll take about 20 to 30 minutes to play. And in Campy Creatures, you're going to be playing as Campy Creatures. You're going to be trying to capture the mortal people of Earth in order to give you victory points. But some of these mortal creatures on Earth will actually lose you victory points. Luckily, some of your Campy Creatures have some hidden tricks up their sleeves in the form of card abilities that you'll be playing. It's a light, simple, filler-weight game, but is it good? Let's open it up, and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Campy Creatures. So first and foremost, we have our handy-dandy rule booklet. It is, I don't know, about 10 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, examples. It's very well done. It should have you up and running in no time at all. It's also a very simple game, so I can teach you how to play right now. So in Campy Creatures, you are going to be trying to capture various different mortals. So you're going to be playing monsters, trying to capture mortal people. And capturing these mortal people is going to give you points or potentially lose you points. So you're going to be playing cards out of your hands in order to catch the creatures. And then sort of it becomes like a gamery version of war where the highest number is going to go first. But there will be special abilities all over the place. What am I talking about? Let's go over the components. We'll get into the gameplay. So first and foremost, I got to mention, it comes with like this really cool little art print right here, which is absolutely, I mean, artwork. Oh, artwork. Obviously, you can tell the artwork's really nice. Next, everyone's going to get their own deck of cards, and these are all completely the same. So they're going to be between numbers 0 and 8, and they will all have various different special abilities on the bottom. I also want you to note that there's 2 number 2s here, so you can either play with the Demogorgon or the Invisible Man. I personally like the Demogorgon a lot better. He adds like this little gambling aspect to the game, but the Invisible Man allows you to discard mortals you have captured, which is good too, because sometimes you'll get those bad mortals, but it's nice that there is a little variety there. But as you'll see, they have numbers in the upper left-hand corner, and that's going to dictate when they activate, and then also they have special abilities down on the bottom. And you also notice there's 1 or 2 dots right here, and I'll show you how those work in a minute. So the numbers, this is the special ability, so force the player to your right to discard a creature, capture 2 mortals if possible, discard a creature in hand to absorb its strength, the swamp creature, give the mortal you capture to another player, capture immediately if Kaiju is in play, and Kaiju is the big powerful 8 who has no special abilities, but he's the most powerful. The vampire, negate the ability of the creature to your left, and then the beast, which just lets you score 3 points if he's still at your hand at the end of the game. Now, you'll also notice that there's the dots down here, and how this works is if it has 1 dot, it immediately happens when you reveal the card. If it has 2 dots, it happens when you capture mortals. So obviously, the invader, he's going to capture 2 mortals once he captures a mortal, so he'll be able to capture 2 if there are 2 left. Sea creature, give the mortal you capture to another player. So if you know that you're going to get stuck with something bad, you might want to play the swamp creature, because then you're going to be able to give it to somebody else. So interesting cards there. Next, you're going to have the Clash-O-Meter, which is in the middle. This is going to keep track of your score around the outside, but more importantly, it's going to keep track of ties. So right now, red has the tiebreaker on everything, and this dictates all the ties in the game, and there are a couple different ways you can tie. First, if you have the same number, this will dictate what happens. Also, you can tie on teenagers. So if you tie on the most number of teenagers, which doesn't make sense to you right now, this dictates it as well. But last but not least, let's talk about the mortals in the game. So the mortals are what you're going to be capturing. And they're pretty self-explanatory for the most part. 4 points for this guy, -3 points for the hunter, because obviously he's probably one you don't want to mess with. The damsel's going to get you the most points in the whole game, worth 6 points. Deep sea diver's got a spear, he's -1. The interesting ones, though, are the teenagers, and they'll become in increments of 1 teenager, 2 teenager, and 3 teenager, and whoever has the most teenagers at the end of the round will get 7 points, and the second most will get 4 points. So once again, that tiebreaker coming into play, very, very important. Also interesting is the engineer. So he gets -2 if you have an odd number of engineers that you captured, and 3 points if you have an even number of engineers that you captured. So high risk, high reward with those guys. I mean, if you have 3 of them, -6, but if you have 4 of them, 12 points. So let's show you exactly how the game is played. So first, everyone's going to get their deck of cards like so, and then you're going to reveal the same number of mortals as you have people playing the game. So we have a 5-player game set up, so let's reveal 5 mortals out here. So boom, 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 and boom. So we got 5 mortals right here. None of them are particularly appealing. I mean, the Cosmonaut's the nicest one, but none of them are the kind of thing you might waste your Kaiju on. But then again, you might do it because nobody expects it. So now what we're all going to do is we're all going to pick a card and then reveal them simultaneously. So you're going to secretly pick a card. We'll just do this random and we'll see what happens. So here are all 5 of the cards, and then we're going to reveal them. Well, we got the Demogorgon and the Invisible Man, which shouldn't actually work together. Actually, this is a pretty terrible one, but hey, we'll see what happens. So, first, do we have any instant abilities? That's the first thing I want to look for. Does anyone have 1 dot on their card? In this case, no one has 1 dot on their card, which means whoever is the first player, whoever has the highest number, would go first. So Kaiju is probably going to take the Cosmonaut. They put this over into their mortal pile over here. They've got 4 points. Good for them. And they're going to put this Kaiju face up next to them because they will not be able to use this for the rest of the round. So that goes over here. Next we have 7, the Beast over here. He's pretty disappointed, so he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go for teenagers. I'm going to try and get those teenager points over there. We have a tie for 2. Actually, we have a 3-way tie for 2, which means we look at the clash track right here. So purple, pink, and red are all tied, which means red's going to go first, and then purple, and then pink. So red, and then purple would go down to the bottom, and then pink would go down to the bottom like so. Actually, no, pink wouldn't tie with anybody, would they? No. So yeah, red, purple, pink, and then pink would remain at the top because they kind of got the shaft in the end of that. So the Invisible Man, his ability is you may discard a mortal you have captured. He probably would not do that, so he would keep that. Pink would keep his. And then the Demogorgon has a really cool ability because return the mortal to the bottom of the deck, look at the one on top, and capture it face down. So he's got a little bit of a gambly one. He's going to get rid of this Deep Sea Diver, which is -1 point. Then he's going to secretly look at a card, and he's very happy with that play. But I mean, he could be super happy if that were, for instance, the Damsel in Distress. But anywho, you're going to, once again, reveal out 5 cards. You're going to rinse, wash, and repeat until you can't fill up this row. And I believe there should be only 1 card left in here when you do that because mathy reasons. At that point, you're going to tally up your score. First, you'll take a look at who has the most teenagers. You'll get them the points, second most teenagers. And then you're going to move yourself on the little score track right here. You're going to pick up all your cards, and then you're going to rinse, wash, repeat. You're going to do it 3 rounds. And whoever has the most points after 3 rounds will be the winner of Campy Creatures, and that, in a nutshell, is how to play. But they also give you these little tokens right here if you want to play the alternate version of the game, which is just whoever wins the round gets a token, and then you play to generally 2 tokens. And then that, in a nutshell, is how you're going to play Campy Creatures. Alrighty then, Campy Creatures from Keymaster Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go to the pros, let's go to the cons. First on the con side, 2 to 5 players. This is a good player count, but I liked it best at 3, 4, and 5. And ideally, it's best at 4 and 5 players. 2 players, I was just not feeling this game. Also, I feel like you'll probably start off playing with the Invisible Man and then you'll never play with it again because the Demogorgon is just a much more fun card. And I wish, that's one of the biggest cons that I have with this game, is that I worry about the replay value on this game just because of its lack of diversity. You're going to be doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and it can get somewhat repetitive. I would have liked to have seen a larger variety of mortals. I would have liked to have seen more alternate creatures. I think that would have been great, especially if maybe you could mix it up yourself. So it's like, oh, you can have this 3, and I can have this 3, or you can have this 6, or I can have this 6. And I hope in the future they do that with more alternate numbers, because I really think that can spice up the game and give this game the legs to potentially be one that will stay on your shelf for a good deal of time. Any other cons that I have with the game? You got to go into this knowing that it's very light, that it's very simple. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of a shaft on the tiebreaker chart. The tiebreaker chart, I really like it. I feel like it's a very clean system, but I can see it being annoying from time to time. I also did like how they did the little scoreboard here. It's kind of weird. There's like these blank spots, and you'll forget they're there, and you'll be like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll be like, wait, did I count the little dash, or did I not count the little dash? It's just kind of weird having spaces on a scoreboard that don't have numbers on them, and they don't count as numbers, and I did have a couple people do that. That's a minor nitpick, though. All gripes aside, yeah, go into this knowing that it's light, that it's simple, and the artwork is kind of carrying the game a little bit. But moving forward, I really enjoyed Campy Creatures. I did, and it's not just because of the artwork. I like the gameplay. I like the mechanisms. It's easy to learn. It's easy to teach. I brought this into my classroom. The kids really enjoyed it. I played it as a light lightweight game night filler game, and it went over very well, partially because of how quickly and snappy the game goes. I like the fact that you can play it over 3 rounds, or you can do it until just somebody gets the 2 tokens. I like the fact that there's the alternate end condition to the game. The artwork, obviously, we got to talk about the artwork. The artwork is absolutely stinking gorgeous. It's fantastic. It's dripping, the artwork. You know, the theme necessarily, the theme makes sense thematically for the most part, and the special abilities for the most part make sense, but oh my gosh, that artwork, but I'm not talking about the artwork. Obviously, you can see the artwork. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm not even an artwork guy. What else do I like about the game? I don't know. It was light and simple and easy to learn, easy to teach. It's a good filler weight game. You can play it as a family game. I think this is simple enough that it could be a gateway game. I liked it at 4 and 5 players. I liked it at 3 players, but slightly less. And in the end, Campy Creatures, it's small, it's compact, it's portable. It's not going to take up too much space on your shelf or in your bag. The artwork is going to wow people into the game, and the gameplay is going to keep them engrossed for the 20 to 30 minutes that you're going to be playing it. And what more could you possibly ask for? So in the end, Campy Creatures from Keymaster Games. I hope in the future they come out with a little bit more to give this game some legs, but for right now, I am going to be putting this on one on my shelf. I enjoyed it. The kids in my class enjoyed it. The adults that I played with enjoyed it. Pretty much the only bad experience I had with this was 2 players where it was just okay. But that is Campy Creatures. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know. Old school horror movies. Like, I'm not talking like the original Friday the 13th or the original Chucky or something like that. I'm talking like, Nosferatu or whatever the heck that is, and the old Frankenstein stuff like that. Is that your cup of tea? For me personally, no, it's not my cup of tea. I've tried before. Like, I actually dated a woman who was big into like that old school cinema. We sat down and we jammed on a bunch of that, and she was just so into it. She's like, "Oh my God, can you believe this was made like 70 years ago?" I don't know why I was dating Donald Trump. "Can you believe this was made 70 years ago? It's still so fantastic." And I was like, "Yeah, great." Just not my cup of tea. But is it your cup of tea? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Why am I dating Donald Trump? Because he's rich. That's why.